opposite.
That's also not true. I don't believe that at all.
A lot of falsehoods. Going around.
Many falsehoods flying around. Another crappy weather day here in the Commonwealth. My name's Louie Barry. This is SoCal Saturdays, where the weather is almost certainly a lot better than it is here in Louisville. I'm hearing it's chilly as well down there in Florida, Barry. How are you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. A real chilly 80 degrees today. It actually might get up to about 85.
It was 87 degrees here yesterday. It is going to be 28 degrees tonight.
You serious?
Yeah. No, it sucks here. No, don't worry about it. Yeah, you couldn't do it. You ain't built for this, and good for you, by the way.
I am not.
That's exactly right. If you are new to the program, we get together at this time every single week, and we preview tomorrow's card at Santa Anita Park or Del Mar or LaSalle, wherever they're running thoroughbred races. And that is no different. We are presented every week by Amwager, amwager.com. Make sure you get in with them right now. $150 sign-up match awaits new clients and new customers there. 100% deposit match up to $150. Beautiful, beautiful website. All of the great options as far as a betting platform made for you by other horse players. It is Amwager and amwager.com. Appreciate them hanging out with us every week on the program. Barry, this is, and I think we could be transparent on the show. We've talked about it before. Early part of this card, a little tough to find value, but boy, late part of this card came through, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of the story of California racing right now. Yep. And, we get those mixed bags, but usually there's a part of the card that's really, kind of juicy and you can get some prices and make some money. I mean, there's been a bunch of carryovers, so hasn't been easy. The races haven't been easy despite smaller fields or whatever gets in the way. But I mean, the race has been great as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, Barry and I, for the second consecutive week, we will give out Turf Pick 3 plays for the end of the card here. Barry, I found, frankly, with the takeout, with the retail, all those things, the Turf Pick 3, the late Pick 3, those seem to be the very best bets there at Santa Anita Park. We'll concentrate on the Turf Pick 3 as part of this show. Today, Barry gets to find out which favorite I'm tossing in the Turf Pick 3 in the show. Very angry with me was Barry Spears when he saw my initial.
I wasn't angry.
You know what it was? Actually, I'll call you out on what you are. You were a disappointed dad. That's what that was.
That's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was.
Dad's not mad at you. He's just disappointed. And that's when you're a kid and you're like, oh no, not disappointment. You have a daughter. You know how that goes. All right. Well, we'll get after it. Race 1 there is on the turf. 6.5 furlongs. It is a $50,000 starter allowance here. $37,000 in the pool for the prizes here. Field of 5 here, Barry. Where'd you land?
Yeah, this race was kind of interesting because the inside horse is probably going to take a ton of money there. But sure. I kind of had the idea that the 5, Fancy Facts, is actually faster than everybody else in this field. If this horse can get out of the gate and beat How Lovely, I think this might be over. This horse ran pretty fast early on in the career, last year mostly. Then came back and won a non-winners of 2, 25,000 last time. Fits in this scenario quite a bit and very well. I mean, a lot of these horses have been running in the same kind of races, and I think the 1 is going to attract a lot of attention because they're sort of a big drop here. But I don't have that much confidence in this horse, especially, the last time they went to lead, but I think it was just a matter of them being faster than everybody else in that race, not necessarily that they run better on the lead. I think Fancy Facts might be able to get it done at a so-so price, 3-1.
The other part of this, the reason that we're going to get such a short price there at Santa Anita Park in race 1 on the 1 is because I'm right, and the 1's going to win here. Breaking from the rail is Hey Lil Lady. Just something I've never said in my life other than to reference this horse. Winner last time, very competitive the time before that. At this level, I think just makes sense. Third jockey in that 3 races, but hey, I get Juan Hernandez here. I think makes a lot of sense here. I don't think your 5, by the way, is without a case here for sure. Does have to step up from that 25 level, but hey, the only thing I saw there, Barry, by the way, was that the sort of the final times of different things were a bit slower than what we've been seeing at the optional claiming level. But if Fancy Facts can get a little bit faster in this one, she can absolutely be part of the final equation here. But I went 1, 3, and 4. I think the 3 horse in here in Miss Mar is really interesting as well. By the way, Barry, Fun fact about Louisville. Probably the best athlete we've ever put out of this place that isn't named Muhammad Ali is a woman named Mary T. Maher, who was one of the great swimmers of the 1980s. She was an incredible, incredible swimmer in the Olympics. And so shout out to Mary T. But Ms. Maher will break from the three here. Hector Barrios gets them out. This one's one that's just been close so many times, Barry. Maybe can just get over the hump in this spot. Went to How Lovely after that. I think a nice price on here, too. And this is one that just missed behind Ms. Maher last time by half a length. So maybe that 5-1 price might be the value in here. So 1, 3, and 4 for me, Barry. I know you went 5, 1, and 2. What do you like about the 2 horse here?
Very consistent kind of runner. Does the same thing every time. I think they'll get the same kind of trip they always want to get and come running late. I don't really think this horse is fast enough to win, but I think they might show up in the picture at a decent price.
Yeah, so 5, 1, and 2 for Barry there in race 1. Starts the early pick 5, of course, at Santa Anita Park on Saturday. We moved to race 2. Even number races, I tend to go first here at Santa Anita Park on Saturday, of course. It is SoCal Saturdays on the Horse Racing Happy Hour. I'm Louie Barry. He's Barry Spears. Thanks for hanging out with us on the program. A $32,000 claimer on the dirt. For race 2, $32,000 also on the line. And this is for 4 and up here, Barry. I'll go ahead and go first here. 1, 2, and 4 for me. I'm a bit chalky early in the card. We'll get away from that later in the card when we get there. But nice drop into this kind of company. Almost hit at 25,000 last out. Did Hondo Crouch. And so I think that will be the right kind of class relief getting back into this kind of level here. Hasn't won in a long time, though. So it's a bit of a gamble to go with the Mark Blatt trainee here, though. But I think all of his numbers make a lot of sense for this level. So 1, 2, and 4 for me. Right next to him will be Bolt Zapper, who comes out of a 6.5 furlong race that did not go his way, but we're second off the layoff here for Cynthia Kelly. Why not? But Aguilar gets the mount here. This is one that won in State Bred Company at the 50 level to break its maiden. That was at Santa Anita Park on the dirt. We get back to the turf here, and I think this horse can be part of the equation at the end. Then give me the 4 horse in here, Barry. I think Pop Paul is an interesting one. Comes out of a maiden 20 win. So, yes, this is a step up, but that was 105 and change over the 5.5 furlongs. I think that's a winning kind of time here for Bob Hess and his crew there. Kent DeSormo gets them out there. So I'll go 1, 2, and 4 in here. You agree about the 2 and 4? You went to a different spot on top.
Yeah, we're going with the Eric Williams, Boston Celtics daily double to 55. We're going with the 5 Singlemore in race 2.
That was a musty reference, man.
I had to dig deep for that one. I'll own that. That's bad.
We just became the oldest show in horse racing, and that's not easy to do, man.
Very hard to do. But I like Singlemore's races, all of them, actually. This horse broke the maiden at the $20,000 level. 2 back, and was pretty impressive. Fits at that level. Stepped up into the 50,000 starter allowance. Company didn't run that poorly. This field isn't that tough, and usually in these non-winners of whatevers, I like to go with horses that haven't run all that much. Usually, you get these horses with 10 or more starts that you're gonna have to put the question mark next to, especially when they run up against horses who haven't been running all that much. And that's kind of like what I did with this whole arrangement here for my picks in race 2. So I went with the 5 on top, speed, and has the chops to win a race like this.
5 on top, 5, 2, and 4 for you. I mentioned the 2 being back on turf. That was last race. Getting back to the dirt here. Is that why you like Bolt Zapper here? Just getting back to a preferred surface? Yeah.
This horse ran pretty good first time out. In the second time out in that state bred $50,000 maiden claimer, they ran pretty well actually on the turf. Looked like they weren't suited for that surface. Gets to the dirt here again. The trainer's pretty decent. I know she doesn't have a whole lot of horses, but they're usually around it.
No, that's exactly right. All right. So there's Barry's picks 5, 2, and 4 in a race 2 Saturday at Santa Anita Park, SoCal Saturdays on the Horse Racing Happy Hour Network. He's Barry. I'm Louie. We're hanging out with Amwager. We're hanging out with you. Same time every Friday right here ahead of the races on Saturday. The grade 3 Wilshire is race 3 on the card. Pick 3 starts here as well. $1 pick 3s out at Santa Anita Park. A mile on the turf for this one. Fillies and Mares 4 and up. Barry, big favor in Rashmi on the inside. Do we try to beat her today?
I tried. I really, really did. And I looked at this race way too long. For that reason. So I was like, how can we get this horse beat? But I really can't. I know they haven't been out since March of last year, but the body of work that this horse has compared to everybody else is just much, much better, especially the 5. I think that horse has no shot whatsoever. But yeah, Rashmi looks to be the goods in a spot that's kind of soft for a grade 3.
1, 2, excuse me. You went 1, 2, 4 here. Usually in these spots, you tell me about a cold exacta. Why are we using Antifona in the cold exacta?
Ran really well last time and the time before that, even though, they were last, they were like 5 wide the whole entire way.
Yep.
Get some post relief here, and the stretch out makes a lot of sense. That you could say that their best race was going a mile on the turf. That race in particular I'm talking about is the August 11, 2024 race where they got claimed out of. Getting back to that makes a lot of sense. This one too cold should pay decent enough.
Yeah, no, I think you're not wrong. I'm going to put Hannah Buckle in the second spot here. The 4 horse Armando Ayuso keeps the mount for this one. Barry, I wonder if we don't have the case of a horse that actually might run better without Lasix in this one. And so I wonder if this isn't a horse that can't put together a race like it did in the Franco last out in January over 1 1/8 here at Santa Anita Park. I want to say something about that race. If you look at this horse's running lines, Barry, it wants something to run at, and it probably needs a little bit faster of a pace up front. This is the one part, if you wanted to poke a big hole in my handicapping, is where's the speed in this thing, right? Who's going to try to go get the lead in this race? I wonder if Jonathan Thomas won't just send Walking the Beach just to do it, right? Like, you go get out there, give Rashmi something to run at, that kind of thing in a field this size. But if not, why can't the 4 just be there near the front, just hanging out, doing the thing? Because what, Miss Artois is going to go like she did in September? I don't know. I just don't see it. So I'm just wondering who's going to inherit the lead here. Do you think there's a chance Jonathan Thomas asked the 5 horse to just go?
Yeah, there's a slight chance, but I don't think they may have a choice. I think Rashmi may just be naturally
go get it.
Just be naturally faster, and that's provided Walking on the Beach actually runs. So it screams like they put that horse in this race just to get this race to go.
Right.
Right.
I agree.
Rashmi should just dominate this field, honestly.
Early pick 5, Rashmi single?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I agree. All
no
right,
question.
Moving on, race 4 here on the card at Santa Anita Park on Saturday is a maiden 20. It's a 6 furlonger on the dirt. Fillies and mares 3, 4, and 5 years old. And this one, Barry, we got a field of 6 signed up for this one. I landed on the 4 horse here, and I think you see in my notes, Barry, that I wrote the word gross. That's how I feel about this race. It's gross. And so, again, I went 4, 6, and 5 in this race. Hate to call something gross. I'm going with Elsa Dutton because she's hit the board before. That's my analysis of this race. 4, 6, 5, Barry. Who'd you land on? I wish I had more. I don't.
I do. I got you.
Thank you. This is where we need Barry Spears. Mind of Spears. Here we go.
I ended up on the 6 here. I thought that race that they ran at the $50,000 level back last March was decent enough. The fact that they put on Edwin Maldonado is really interesting here. And the workout pattern. This horse has been steady working, through February. And there's a quick one in there, February 23rd. My thought is if any one of these horses, whoever gets the lead, will probably win this race.
You're right.
And I think the intention might be with Edwin Maldonado on the 6 horse that they're just going to step on the gas and try to go to the front. I think that's their best play. They could be faster than everybody in here. Dad's Bad Bunny, I'm not too sure about how fast they are. They've showed some speed. Same thing with Elsa Dutton, after that last race on the drop. It could be right for something like that to happen, depending on who it is. We're going to take a shot with 6.
All right. So everything Barry just said makes sense. I would like to now read from the past performances the trainer percentages affiliated with the 6 horse in this race. 0%, 0%, 1 out of 3 for a $1.40 return, 0%, 15%, 0%. Trainer Paul Aguirre hasn't won a sprint race in 21 starts. And that, Barry, you still made sense. That's where we are with this race. That's why I wrote the word.
All it takes is one,
That's
home.
where we are.
All it takes is one.
Line of Spears. All right, move on. Race 5. Close out that early pick 5 and start that turf pick 3. Maiden 50 here, mile and an eighth on the turf, Barry. And as a guy who lives in Louisville and has to watch Churchill Downs not card any claimers on the turf, it's very nice to watch them out west. As I said, mile and an eighth, 35,000 on the line. This on the filly and mare side, 3, 4, and 5 years old. Barry, odd number race. You're the odd fellow on the show. Huge field for this one. Nice field of 8 at least. Where'd you land in this one?
You know, this was one of the interesting races, I thought, one of the most interesting races on the card, because it could go a lot of different ways. I would definitely advise you get your price. I mean, the morning line favorite is 3-1 on the line. So I think that's indicative of how difficult this race might end up being. But I ended up landing on the 4. Isn't She Loverly? Nice name. But second time at this level. This horse ran pretty good back in March 1st to be exact, after transferring Barnes to Leonard Powell. And I think this is the time to strike with this horse. Victor doesn't ride a lot of horses, but he rides pretty good ones when he does ride. I like the fact that this horse has a bullet going into this race on March 23rd, 47 and 2, 4 furlongs at Santa Anita on March 23rd. Seems to be heading in the right direction, should be the right price in a race that's a little bit all over the place. There is a lot of speed towards the outside, so I think they're going to get their run.
It's a fascinating race. So, Barry, there is 4, 7, and 3. Go ahead and talk about the 7 horse here in Velvet Lily. This was the horse, if people saw the video, Barry, where there was an early runner. The rail was out, and a horse jumped the rail in a turf race, and there are a bunch of runners from that race back in here for this one. So how are you handicapping that race? Are you tossing it all together? If a horse ran well in that race, are you using it as, hey, they're in good form? What are you doing with that race?
Yeah, it's hard to gauge what horses will do out of races like that. It was at the same distance. It was just a strange race, and the 5 ended up winning that race. So I guess it doesn't count. But the others that were in it, like the 7, I thought was kind of more compromised than a lot of others. The 8 ran pretty decent in that race, but it was weird, and it's hard to tell who really ran and who didn't, if they did. So it's like all those horses have to be considered kind of contenders in here because they didn't really get a good run at it. I doubt we'll get 5-1 on a horse like Springline.
I agree.
I think that horse is probably going to attract some attention, especially since they won at this level already. But I thought Velvet Lily didn't run all that badly before all the nonsense, and I'd give that one another shot. Their first race at a mile was pretty decent, and they want to go longer, which makes a lot of sense. DeMuro was riding pretty good up until I'd say the spring. He's doing okay now, but not as hot as he was last fall and a little bit of the last part of 2025. But I think this horse can sit a nice trip. If they get anything like they did in January, they should be all right here.
All right, so I'm going to list 4 here, Barry. 5, 1, 3, and 8 for me. I agree with you. I actually think Springline is the favorite here. Did it last time. I think Juan Hernandez picking up the mount here makes a lot of sense. Actually gets a little bit of weight. Gets a little bit of weight relief for this one, which is kind of funny.
Weird.
It is a little weird, but 5 on top for me. Hustivar is the favorite here. I think makes a lot of sense in here, Barry. This is one, though, for the turf pick 3 purposes. I'm going to toss Justivar in this spot just to try to get some value out of this thing. And so I'm going to use 3, 5, and 8 in here, Barry. So 5, 1, 3, 8 for me. If I'm boxing up a try or something for this race, that's who I'm looking at. But I'm hoping that Holly Go Quickly, who was 4th, but by a half length under Florent Giroux last time, picks up Kazushi Kimura here, will be in the equation once again, like she was last time. And you talked about Velvet Lily in that race last out. I'm going to go to the one next to her in Channel Place. And I'm going to make a jockey decision here. I'm going to ride with MSL Jaramillo instead of Mirko de Muro. And so I'm going to use the 8 instead of the 7 here for that reason. So look for 3, 5, and 8 to show up in my turf pick 3 today. Barry, of those horses, how many will you be using in a turf pick 3?
I'm using all 3 of mine, and I will probably use yours, the 8 as well.
The 8 horse as well. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So 4, 7, 3, and 8 for Barry. If you want to get a technical breakdown of that one, he's Barry. I'm Louie. This is SoCal Saturdays on the Horse Racing Happy Hour. Hang out with you every Friday at this time, presented by Amwager and Amwager.com. Appreciate them hanging out with us every week there as well. I do have a WTF race in the last 4 here at San Anita Park. Late pick 4 starts here on the dirt race 6. And it is a 6 furlong claimer. $25,000 is the claiming price. $35,000 is the purse. 3-year-old fillies in this one, Barry. Fun field of 6 and a 1-to-1 favorite on the outside in the 6 horse. Barry is going to be very, very impressed with me that I did not pick the even money favorite.
Oh, man.
How proud of you of me?
I'm very proud. Very, very, very proud.
I only put that horse second.
No chalk zone.
I went with Pride of Queens, which I think is named after Mike Rapoli. This is one second off the layoff here. Did break its maiden at the 32 level at Del Mar in August. Came back in February. I thought showed really well. A little bit of a slow getting out of the gate moment for Pride of Queens, which, hey, we're talking about a claimer. We're talking about a horse that had been away for quite a while, but since then has been working really, really well on the dirt track there at Santa Anita Park. And so looking for the Doug O'Neill bounce back here. The horse did take a bit of a step forward as far as speed figures, Barry, last out, but frankly, the timing of the race fits with what this horse has been able to do. It was a little faster in the fall, frankly, at Del Mar than it was in the spring at Santa Anita. And so I think that does hold up from season to season. I do have the 6 horse here second in my handicapping, and my cat gets a ton of class relief dropping into this level. But Barry, once in a while, we see these horses drop like this, and it's, hey, we're putting the price, put the sales tag on there, and we'll find out if the horses will sell or not. But it doesn't necessarily mean that she's just going to drop in and win either. But Flamingo Star, 8-1, the 4 horse here, broke its maiden 2 back at the maiden 50 level. That was on the turf, gets back to the dirt here, which Val Brinkerhoff does at an incredible 22%. So getting back to the dirt with this one, where the horse has actually shown, Barry, some acumen, 3 times hitting the board and 4 runs on the dirt. I think this drop in level makes a lot of sense as well. So give me in this one 2, 6, and 4. Where'd you land race 6?
A different view of the 6. I just think that horse is just way too inconsistent for my liking. If you look, if you're into the whole buyer speed figure thing, if you look at that horse's body of work.
All right. Hey, Barry, go ahead and check your internet connection for me, man. We will try to get you back on the show here. Oh, there he goes. All right. Barry, you moving now? There you go, buddy. There you go. Yeah. All right. So 6 not consistent enough. You're watching buyers. This one's on the decline for sure. Oh, no.
Now you froze.
Oh, was me freezing now? Oh, boy, that is not good. All right, let me check my internet here. Everything's good on my end as far as I can tell, but we are going to triple check. Oh, live podcasting. All right, mine's working just fine. Barry, are you there? You are not.
Yes.
Oh, there you go. Okay, all right, try it again. There he is. Yeah. All right, Barry, race 6. Just go ahead, do your handicapping. Stop pooping on the 6. Apparently, that's hard to guess. You and I did land on the same horse there in Pride of Queens. Yes, right.
Yeah, Pride of Queens should get the setup here. There's a lot of speed in this race. My cat has to go. Right. Final Table Lady has to go. Either Flamingo Star or Lady Detective. I think one of those two are probably going to back out of that speed duel. But it really sets up well for Pride of Queens. I think they should be running late after that first run at this level. First off the bench since August. They should be the goods in this spot.
2, 4, and 3 for you. Flamingo Star, you agree with me on. What about Lady Detective? What do you like about her?
I think this horse has some potential. It was claimed out of that maiden claimer for $32,000. Ends up in this spot. Steve Knapp does really well with these sort of claims. I mean, he's really good at the lower level claiming game. And this is one of those horses where this field isn't that great. And I can see why he spotted this horse in this race, because there's no world beaters in here. My cat is on the drop, but she's not really all that overwhelming in this spot. And if they can work out a trip here with Armando Aguilar, they can probably be in the mix here. Their last race is just as good as Pride of Queens if you want to look at Beyer speed figures straight up. Pride of Queens ran a 57, Lady Detective ran a 55, got claimed out of that race, ends up here. Why not? I mean, it might be the longest shot or second longest shot on the board here, but I think they might stand a pretty decent chance.
2, 4, and 3 for Barry Spears there in a race 6.
I'll say this: I'll be really upset if the 3 or 4 wins this race.
Okay. I'll be really upset. Okay,
I know I shouldn't say that because I don't like to eat chalk, but I really, if I was gonna say one was gonna win, I'd say the 4. If the 4 wins, I'll be mad because I didn't pick up here.
Got it. All right. Well, race 7 is that middle part of the turf pick 3, the start of the late pick 3, $3 minimum there at Santa Anita Park, 15% takeout. The 2 bets that we always recommend on this show, that turf pick 3 and certainly the late pick 3. Late double up next as well. We'll talk about that one, but an optional claimer here, $50,000 to get in here for non-2 lifers. It's $70,000 purse here, going 6 furlongs on the turf. Very odd race. We go to you first. Yakovlev is 9-5. I will be very honest. I think this is, in a bigger field, I think a deserved 9-5 kind of favorite in here, actually.
Yeah. I mean, body of work wise, this horse is pretty consistent.
Yep.
I just don't enjoy the running style. And
totally get it.
If you don't whisper into that horse's ear, I think they lose the last race. They barely got up, but they came running pretty good. And that was actually a decent field with Lyle the Crocodile. Anmer Hall was in there, who they beat. But
that was also down the hill, to be fair. Last 2 been down the hill.
Well, that's where I was going with it. Although this horse has actually run better on the flat 6 furlongs, 6.5 shouldn't be a problem. I just don't enjoy the running style. I think a horse like Irish Royalty might get the jump on this horse, and they've run just as good in spots, especially the last 2 in the $20,000 state bred going 6, and then in the Clocker's Corner, which they were kind of in contention but a little bit wide and faded. This little relief here could put this horse in a good spot, especially behind the speed of the 6 and possibly the 8. That duel should develop, and I think Irish Royalty, Kimura's a pretty heads-up rider. He can slide right into that spot right behind him and get first run, and I think that might make the difference.
Barry, in this race, 5, 4, and 3. I will go a slightly different direction with my picks here. I apologize. 6, 4, and 8 for me. Agree with Barry about Yakovlev. Is the one to beat in here, but is beatable. I'll use Rearmed John in here, Barry, on top. Ricardo Gonzalez rides for Victor Garcia. This is one, and it's just based on being at this level, Barry, and a horse that's willing to win. 3 wins, 4 runs. Only time not winning was going the 5 furlongs at Del Mar, and we've seen those races, Barry, get fast. And so I try not to hold the 5 furlong sort of thing against horses, but this was one that didn't mind doing the 6.5. A reminder for people that don't remember, but you do have to cross the dirt course early in that race. It's why Yakovlev is so interesting to me here, Barry, because he's willing to do that down the hill. I assume he'll be able to do that going the 6.5 as well. With that happening with Rearmed John last time out, I'm only using those 2 in my turf pick 3, the 4 and the 6 here. And so those will be the 2 that I use in this spot. Barry, how many are you using in the turf pick 3 in this race?
Just 2. Yakovlev and
which
Irish
ones?
Royalty. The 4 and the 5. Yeah. Honestly, I'm depending on what price the 5 is, I'm going to destroy the 6. Just straight up hammer it cold.
Okay. So 5, 4 cold for you?
Yeah. But I'm using both of them in the turf pick 3.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. All right. So race 8, then we move on from race 7, of course. Late double here. $5 late double minimum there. Starts with a state bred maiden 20, 6.5 furlongs on the dirt here, Barry, for Calbreds that are 3 years old. We had the filly side of things. Now we're doing the colt and horse side of things over here. I guess the 3-year-olds, it's just a colt. That Barry, I have WTF next to my handicapping, and I have not updated it for this show, which is the third least professional thing that I've done today. And so I'm going to go ahead. We're going to lean on you entirely in race 8. And I happy Friday to you. We're going to lean on you for what the heck handicapping in race 8 here on the Horse Racing Happy Hour. Barry, call me an idiot and tell me who's going to win this race.
Well, if anybody had out there that watched last week knows that we picked a Tim Yakteen second-time starter that paid $26.60. And I know the exact amount because I destroyed that horse. So we're going to try this again. We're going to go with the 7, the U2 Octoon Baby.
Octoon.
And this horse,
I
second
agree
time
that's
out,
the most likely winner, actually. I agree. Yes.
After that run at the maiden special weight, state bred maiden special weight level, gave him a run, got something out of it on the drop, getting Lasix, was gelded.
Yeah, right. Makeover package.
Yeah, yep. The complete makeover package, and all signs indicate that this horse is going to run well, and I think they will. Hopefully they're not favored, and we can cash a nice ticket here.
To the hoop. 7, 5, and 8 for you, Barry. The 5 horse in here, ridden by Armando Ayuso, first timer for Bob Hess. I don't hate this angle. Bob Hess, not great on debut necessarily, but Barry, I know you like a trainer that throws his horses in the gate for these works. I imagine you're watching those.
Yes, absolutely. I like those steady 4 furlong works. They went to 5 March 12th, and then nice sharpener on March 20th in preparation for this. It's hard to take horses like the 2. He was 0 for 11, had a bunch of chances to win, and just didn't. These are the kind of races that I like to attack because of the fact that the favorites are not going to be that good here. Honestly, I don't know if the 2 is actually going to be favored. I think it may end up going to the 1 or to the 7, which isn't good for us, but we'll take a winner.
If you're playing the late pick 3, for example, Barry, is this the kind of spot where you would use Octung Baby as a single, really get aggressive? Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely. I mean, but there's a chance that horse goes off, slightly favored or second choice. That'll dull it a little bit. But at 7-2, if we get 7-2, third choice in a race like this, in that sort of bet, it's really good for anyone that plays it.
Barry will go 7, 5, and 8. I will go WT and F. All right, race 9 will close the card here at Santa Anita Park. Last leg of the pick 3, the daily double, all of the pick 6s, pick 5s, pick 4s, pick 3s, and of course the turf pick 3 as well. State bred maiden special weight, $70,000 on the line. We're going 6.5 on mostly turf there at Santa Anita Park. And Barry, this is another one of those fields where the lower odds priced horses are ones that have not won in 5, 6, 7 career starts. Where did you land in race 9? And I'm guessing it's not in those places.
No. You know how I feel about these maidens that stack up these losses in races that they've been in for a while. Big Bill kind of fits that criteria. So I'm going to the 9, Jimmy Wingfield, who's a hell of a rider. Steve Knapp. I mean, this workout pattern, this horse seems to be pretty fast. That bullet, close to a bullet on March 20th, 3 out of 35 that day, 47-1 handling from the gate, longest, fastest gate work, closest to the race. That wins a lot of maiden races, getting Lasix. All the signs are there, including the price, 5-1. That's where I'm headed.
It's interesting too. Candy Ride Mare here. We see that name grazing in these Calbreds a lot. A Candy Ride Mare, though, dude. This is when you're in California, you got a Calbred, Barry. Having a sire on one side that is super versatile. Man, how many times do we see these horses? They're in the Cal Cup Derby and then they're in a turf race and then they're doing this just because that's where the $100,000 purses are. That's a cool aspect of this horse. And I bring all of that up because you and I landed on the same horse. I'm going to go with my horse on top here in Jimmy Wingfield for many of the reasons that you brought up, and doesn't get the debut until 4 years old here, Bear. But like you said,
that's okay.
Number 1 and number 2, the works have been outstanding. And so if this horse is willing to do the kind of running from the gate that it's done over those workouts, then I really do think it's got more than a serious shot in here. I went to Curlin Command. Unfortunately, one of those horses that's tried a bunch and not gotten there. But frankly, in this field, Barry, I think does have a shot. If you look at this final time on that race, that one just lost by a length and a quarter, 108.2, wins this race by 2 lengths, I think, frankly. And so if Curling Command can get up, Juan Hernandez gets them out there, should give that horse a better shot. And then the 8 horse in here is Big Bill. But man, I'm going to be leaning on Jimmy Wingfield here, man. And I'm deciding still, Barry, how aggressive I want to get with Jimmy Wingfield. Because frankly, I that might be where you can get serious value in the last race.
I like my bets like I like my jockeys. Aggressive.
What do you like about almost there on the outside in this one, getting back to 6 furlongs?
I think getting back to sprinting is a good thing for this horse. I know their first 2 starts were pretty good. Then they kind of lost their way, laid off until January, and didn't run a poor race that day. And then they went long, and that kind of screwed things up. And it looks terrible on paper, which should help this horse's price. But I think this horse has a better than 8-1 chance to win this race. All they have to do is reverse form. They might get a less than ideal trip, but again, we're not running against a bunch of secretariats here, and I think the 10 might stand a good shot at a decent price.
There you go. All right. So Barry, can you do me a favor? Your turf pick 3 has a different horse in it than your picks for this race. So you went 9, 8, and 10. You have 7, 9, and 10 in your picks. Which one is the turf pick 3? What's on the screen?
Yes.
Okay, so let me fix that then. That's a very easy fix. It doesn't change the price.
No. It's the 7.
It is the 7.
We're tossing the 8. Yeah.
I did that. Okay.
Yeah, we're tossing
that's what was going on. Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I asked, because I assumed that's what was going on, not what was on the screen, but rather what was on the sheet.
Right, on the sheet.
Believe it or not, people, this show is actually organized behind the scenes. I promise. It actually is, believe it or not. And so just want to make sure I represented Barry's ticket.
You get texts about bets.
you don't. It's so real. I really do. And I don't. It's a lot. Anyways, okay, Barry, it's
too much.
Walk us through here. This is a little more of a spread kind of ticket that I'm used to from you through 3, 2, and 3, but frankly, given the field sizes during this turf pick 3, it does make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean, basically the idea is to get around a couple of these favorites. I think the first race of the sequence is pretty tough. That $50,000 maiden claimer, with the 3-1 Justifier in there. I think we just have to use the horses that I picked, the 3, 4, and 7. And hopefully we can get a price out of those 3. I think we do have the winner, so we be moving on there. Then in the 7th race, I thought Yelkalef may end up being just better than these horses.
Just too good, right? Yep.
Yeah, and I thought Irish Royalty was the only other horse that could beat that one. So we're going to use those 2. And then the end, we're completely tossing the chalk. So we're not using the 6. We're not using the 8 Big Bill, who I actually gave out as a second place horse. We're going to use the 7 instead. In Royal Rumor, who had a nice work March 1st, should be working well into this. Gets Jaramillo, who's riding lights out, still out there.
Yep.
And I think that one might have a shot. We're going to use, obviously, Jimmy Wingfield and the 10 almost there. I'm probably going to play other tickets, singling the 9. So we might hit it a couple of times.
Right. No, I think that's actually right. The other thing, too, if people are getting in handicapping or whatever that might be, you might see Barry put up a horse as his second favorite in a race, but then not use them in a wager. Well, that's because the 7 is about to pay 5 times as much in this sequence as the 8 is, right? And so Barry's looking for that value in spots where, frankly, that horse isn't 5 times more likely to win the race.
Honestly, the way that I play these things, my strike rate would be lower, but my return would be higher.
Correct.
So yes. I'm eliminating certain combinations because of the fact that I just don't want them. They're too low.
Right.
So that's really my angle with how I play these things. And if I'm right, I'm really going to be right, and I'm going to get paid.
We hit the turf pick 3 with my ticket last week. I put it in the Sporting Tribune for about $36. Barry, I think it only paid about $85 last week because unfortunately Gold Phoenix came through. I have a similar
8-1. I mean, $8 winner too, 3-1. I was surprised that Gold Phoenix was that price.
I agree with you. But 3-2-3 for me as well here in the all turf pick 3. I'll go 3, 5, and 8. Barry and I agree on a couple of the horses in here, especially Yakolev in the middle leg and the 9 horse in the final leg, especially the first timer there with Jimmy Wingfield. I think, Barry, between the two of us on this turf pick 3, those are the 2 horses we feel the strongest about on top. That race 5, I'm with you, is tough as far as figuring out who's going to rebound from that did happen race and all that kind of stuff. And I think there's a world in which too, Barry, because I think I hate to do this, but I'll play a $5 pick 3.
Where you raise it up, raise up the level.
Just play a $5 one and then put in 2 horses in the last race, play a $10 ticket, just be done with it. But like you said, play it for $5 in case it does chalk out on me, that kind of thing. But my main ticket will be $54. Then I'm in 64.
I mean, if you really want to attack it, like things like playing more horses in the first leg and then singling Yakolev and Jimmy Wingfield.
Right. Twice. Right. Doing it twice. Yeah. Play the full.
Things like that.
Yeah. Los Ponies, our guy Jose Contreras calls that the oh gosh, what's the thing you use? You pour stuff into it. Yeah, funnel, the funnel ticket. Yes. Spread early and single lane. That's exactly right. The old funnel ticket with our guy Los Ponies. By the way, out in Southern California. Shout out. All right, Barry. Well, we'll get out of here. Cool thing going on next week. Barry will be up my way for the Bluegrass Stakes at Keeneland. We're going to be doing a live show right here on this network at 11 o'clock Eastern time. So if you are able to join us next Saturday, so not tomorrow, but in 8 days, Barry and I will be at the top of the grandstand. So just past the finish line at Keeneland for a live show from 11 to noon ahead of their first post on Bluegrass Day. Really excited to get up there. Wanted to thank Meredith and all the people at Keeneland for getting us all set up that way as well. Barry, do you you've heard of like spontaneous human combustion and these sorts of things, right? Do you think there's a chance that you walk into Keeneland and you spontaneously combust?
Yeah, there's definitely that chance.
Or get struck by lightning or something?
Yeah. Or I just, like explode right on the spot, like I was under the solar death ray or something. Just
here's where I'll push back a little. We had you in the paddock at the Breeders' Cup and nothing bad happened. So maybe we've gone like, what if we're a
little progress, right?
What if we're mainstream, Barry? Like, what if that's happened?
Did it? I don't know. Somebody's got to tell us.
Someone else would have to fill us in. Oh, man. Well, he's Barry. I'm Louie. This has been the SoCal Saturday episode for this week. The Wilshire Great is race 3 tomorrow. Good luck with all your wagers. Get aggressive in that early pick 5. Play for like $3. Come on.
Play for 10.
Play for 10. It's not my
Hammer
money.
time. Hammer time.
And when you play at Amwager, amwager.com, 100% deposit match for new customers up to $150 for Barry. I am Louie, back here on this network. By the way, our schedule next week. Thursday, I have not determined what we're doing for an episode, but we'll do a bunch. Wood Memorial preview will be on my radio show, 10:20 with Bobby Held on Friday. You'll hear a Santa Anita Derby preview with Barry on Friday on SoCal Saturdays. We'll do that live in person, by the way, together here in Louisville. Barry will have flown in by then. Then on Saturday, live from Keeneland, you'll see us ahead of Bluegrass Day, one of the great days of racing here in the Commonwealth all year long. He's Barry Spears. I'm Louie Rabeau. Good luck with those wagers this weekend. We'll see you next week on SoCal Saturdays.